Dan Bidondi for TruthRadioShow.com, and we're coming on the dawning of 2017, the end of 2016. Now, a question probably this might have passed a lot of people's minds, crossed a lot of people's minds of where did the ball come from? The ball in New York City, which I'm going to show you right here. Where did this come from? Where's the origination of the ball dropping on New Year's Eve in Times Square? And you all might have seen this, and we're going to show you real quick here. And this is the ball dropping down this long pole in New York City in Times Square, where everybody like celebrates the countdown to the new year. But where's the origination from this? And it gets a little deeper. But I mean, like, this is what you learn in history, that these time balls had been a favor by way of broadcasting the time to sea travelers in the 19th century. And the first one was built in 1829 by an inventor by Robert Washoe. These soon became regular features in the ports across the world when the ball began to its descent 1 p.m. in many parts of the world and noon in the United States. And people would set their clocks to match the ball. And by the beginning of the 20th century, with the advent of radio and more advanced technologies, the time ball became obsolete. But in 1907, the time ball was not completely arched yet, was beginning to become something people was they like to enjoy watching. But I guess it was an immigrant here who later on who took over this. A young immigrant named he was a metal worker by the name of Jacob Starr, working for the sign company Artcraft Cross, making the ball. Starr was also given the responsibility of lowering it in a specific time on New Year's Eve in 1907. By exactly the stroke of midnight, Starr lowered the ball, signifying that was 1908 and the beginning of a new New Year's tradition. And as the guy right there. And this guy here, Robert Whiteshop, he was an inventor. But I realize that there's a reason why I'm explaining all this, folks. He was an inventor, an American archaeologist and anthropologist whose academic research specialized in prehistoric and archaeology in Latin American, Mesoamerica, and the southwestern United States. But this way I like of who these people were first. And it was also said that this ball was used on high buildings to do like a Morse code type thing from one city to another with the tallest buildings. But there's a lot of history, and of course behind everything that comes about is there's a little darker history behind a lot of things. Something that may seem so innocent and all that. But anyway, this guy Jacob Starr, he was also, if we get into the history here, he also became, he was also the founder of the Women's League for Israel, which is constructed by Ann and Jack Starr. And Mr. Starr was also the trustee of Park Avenue Synagogue, a founder of Albert Einstein College of Medicine and the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. So there's a lot of connections between these people and foundations. And this right here is the Park Avenue Synagogue. Now, I mean, like, everybody knows the Jewish star, the Star of David, but their symbol looks more like a Kabbalah star. And this is where the connections start getting in. And this is where he, Mr. Starr, founded the Women's League for Conservative Judaism. And he founded these organizations, which is Israel, whatever. He founded these organizations. Now, we know there's two sides of Judaism. There's two sides to it. The darker, perverted side of Judaism is called Kabbalah. Now, yeah, of course, this college teaches Judaism from Israel there, the good side. But again, every good side in these organizations have the hierarchy usually have something more sinister. These things are basically to cover, to be a front to the public of what they're about. And these things that do good things that actually fund the darker or higher orders. Now, we're not saying Mr. Starr was into the occult, but it's a good possibility because these people who had a lot of money, and especially in New York City, a lot of significance. Now, this is where the ball comes through. And anybody knows anything about the occult, symbolism is very important in the occult, especially phallic symbols. And everything in the occult is to do with sexuality. And Kabbalah, again, is the perverted upper hierarchy levels of Judaism. And Judaism has, like, there's a good side and a bad side, and the bad side is Kabbalah. And the front side, the good side is about God and Jacob and Moses and all that, which is all good. But again, Satan always has a counterfeit of everything, which the counterfeit of Judaism is Kabbalah. And if you look at the ball here, I mean, all the designs of the ball here have hexagrams, triangles, and all that. And there's more than this. I mean, I'm going to show you the video here real quick again. Let me show you the video, exactly what this video is about here. And you're going to see a ball descending down a long shaft. And again, everything in the occult sexual, and you see this ball descending down a long shaft. The shaft is penetrating the ball and it's coming down. And yes, it sounds very perverted because it's exactly what it is. It is very perverted, and for a reason. And let me get to the pictures here. And if anybody knows what these things are, the Washington Monument, which has nothing to do with George Washington. The original George Washington monument plans were scrapped. And the Freemasons built this obelisk, which is 555 feet tall, standing up, and the base of it goes 111 feet underground, a total of 666 feet. Not a coincidence, folks. And it's a phallic symbol, and the phallic symbol usually penetrates a vulva, known as a vagina. And you can see here in the Vatican Square in St. Peter's Basilica, yet another obelisk, another phallic symbol. And I'll show you the sky view here real quick. And again, you see like a sundial. And again, the thing is, everything in the occult is very, very confusing to most people and complex for a reason. And one symbol symbolizes a lot of things. And this is like a sundial, also a phallic symbol penetrating a vulva. Everything's sexuality in the occult. And what you're seeing here is also the sun, because everything's centered around the centric universe here, about the sun and everything, how the worship of the sun and all that, and it dates back to ancient Kabbalah. And go back here real quick, if you excuse me here, and you're seeing all the phallic symbols. I mean, just about every city across the planet, especially the United States, has a phallic symbol. Capital city. In the United States, like every state has a phallic symbol somewhere in the capital. And everything in the occult is to do with sexuality. It's always the penis penetrating the vagina, also known as a vulva. And this here is Baphomet, which you see he's half man, half woman. It's the hermaphrodite god, because they believe they try to put women up on as a pedestal. Because God wants man to be the head of the household, and everything they call is a direct mirror image to everything God wants and all his things. And this goes back to ancient Kabbalah, which again is the perverted side of Judaism. And right in New York City, it's not a coincidence, they housed the Whore of Babylon, which is the Statue of Liberty. And people think it's our liberty and all that. And quick history about it, it was created by a Freemason known as Frederick Bidondi. He, after the French Revolution, out of disrespect in the high holy altar of Notre Dame, the Illuminati and the Jacobins placed a female prostitute on the altar, gave her a crown to symbolize the Queen of Reasoning, and a torch to signify the light of Lucifer, the illuminated one, Lucifer. That's what the statue is for. It's not a gift to the people from France to the American people. No, it was a gift from the French lodges to the French Masonic lodges to the American Masonic lodges. And she stands on an 11-pointed pentagram that symbolizes the seal of the beast. She overlooks New York Harbor because New York at the time was the gateway to the New World. And they believed the New World was Atlantis, the New Atlantis, America, by Sir Francis Bacon. He visioned this land, and yes, even people long before Columbus knew about this land. And they visioned it as the New Atlantis, the New World. And New York was the gateway for that, so they had to have her blessing people with the light of Lucifer upon the New World. That's why she overlooks New York Harbor. To dwell her light of Lucifer. She's also known as Isis, Ashtar. She's the queen goddess of Babylon. And the queen whore of Babylon, exactly. And And this is all tied in together, folks. This is why these things go on in New York City, because it's all pagan and satanic rituals and high levels of paganism and witchcraft and everything else, all rolled into one. And you can see in the rituals here, and people, look so innocent, people getting together watching the ball drop. Oh, want to question the meaning of it, and you can see it's pure sexual, folks. And again, it's a sun deity as well, also rolled into a male penetrating the female vulva, and as it comes down into the new world, a new birth into the new year. I'm sorry, and that's what it stands for. And it's very occultic. There's so much more behind this, but for the sake of time, look into this. This is very significant to the pushing of the New World Order, which has been going on for a very long time now. And it's not a coincidence that these people, behind us, Jacob Starr and all these people were into Judaism. And again, we're not saying that they're bad people, but most of them, like, if these people have this kind of money and power and all that, more than likely they're into the dark side of Judaism, which is Kabbalah, which is the high levels of the occult, which is Illuminati based stuff off of and everything else. It's a direct counterfeit of what God teaches us. So, folks, you need to be aware of the stuff, and it's not a coincidence that all these things all relate to each other, and all in New York City. It's just disgusting what goes on, and all these millions of innocent people not knowing what the hell they're even looking at. And they don't even know the regular history. Most people don't even know about, the inventor here, or Robert Weishaupt, or Jacob Starr. And I'm not, claiming that they're into the cult, but very well they could have been, especially found in these Jewish organizations with a lot of money. And I'm not saying the Jewish people are bad. They're not at all. But some people who found these organizations, like the Freemasons with the Shriners Hospitals, on the front, they say, oh, we help burn victims and everything else, and it's just a front, so society would never expect anything sinister from them. But we all know at the high levels of the Shriners and the Freemasonry, they're very evil, sinister people. And again, 85% of Freemasons and such don't know this themselves. They're very good people, but they have no idea what happens at the top. Same thing in these organizations. They have no idea. People work for them. Now, they're saying they're evil or nothing. They're probably great people, great ideas and whatnot. But again, at the top, that these people could be involved with high level. Because you don't get high levels of power or rich. And it's a lot involved with occultism, and this is pure occultic, folks, all the way. Again, if you want to look at real quick the design of the balls here, every year it's some very similar to hexagrams and triangles. That you can't get any more occultic than hexagram, any more occultic than this stuff here. And I'm going to show you something real quick before we go. Star of David. I want to show you something real quick. Now, there's two stars that people are familiar with. Everybody knows the Star of David. But the thing is, in the book of Amos, God says it's the Star of Moloch, your gods. There's no such thing as a Star of David. David never bore a star. And it's actually the Kabbalah star. The Kabbalah star, again, perverted side of Judaism, which is a six-pointed star. It's the most powerful star. Let me type that in real quick. Kabbalah star. I just want to show you the meaning, because the Kabbalah star is very significant, and it's not. People say there's a difference between the interwoven than not the interwoven with the Star of David and all that. There is no such thing as the Star of David. And if this looks familiar here, this photo right here, this is a Kabbalah star. You can see it right there, and it's not too far off from. Let me get to right here. It's not too far off from the symbol of the Park Avenue Synagogue. And again, see, there's a circle around it, indicating the star, a Kabbalah star here. So it's not a coincidence here. And I just lost my place here. We got so many tabs open, it's hard to keep up, but it's always associated like that. And so again, not a pentagram. People know the pentagram, the 5 stars pointing up or down. Satanists use that. People in the witchcraft, white or black, use it. But the most powerful talisman, all the occult, the symbol that they use, the talisman that they use to resurrect demons and fallen angels, is the Kabbalah star, the 6-pointed star, the hexagram. That's what they use. That's the most powerful talisman in all the occult. And again, it's all to do with the blazing star, the Kabbalah tree, and it's all tied in together. The star Sirius and all that. There's so much involved here, but it all, you know what I mean? This is what people look on. Millions of people watch this every year. Sit there in the dawn, this great ball of light coming down, and people counting down and have no idea that they're just getting high levels of Kabbalism, and Satanism all rolled into one, in your face, rubbed in your face, high levels of paganism, and to try to bring out not just a new year, but a new world order. But anyway, folks, this is Dan Bidondi for Truth Radio Show. Happy New Year, and God bless.